My name's Jared Dowswell. I was the former inspector overseeing driver training for Victoria Police. I went through driver training as a student in 1996 and basically not a cent had been spent on it by 2019. Potholes in the track, there was no soft curbing, problematic trees that were pushing over guardrails and lifting up the track surface. We're having access through pedestrians, gaining access to the site while we're doing training. A lot of wildlife, being particularly kangaroos. Hit a decent sized kangaroo, high speed, it's going to be catastrophic. Couldn't get a lot of buy-in, I suppose, from our property service division, so I went and made my own funding bids. It was a holistic safety review that I did get like an independent consultant on board. He undertook like a national as well as an international scan, and then we could sort of compare and contrast in relation to areas to improve. In the last 4 years, we've managed to accomplish legislative reform, the stability of the silver fleet to more closely replicate the operational environment, dash cams inside our vehicles, a 3-tier collision review process to look at any lessons learned, independent review of our curriculum to make sure it's still contemporary and reflects best practice. Significant infrastructure upgrade in relation to things like fencing, security, a track resurface, and new buildings for the instructors and students.
In my 20 years here, I can honestly say that Jared Dowswell and the superintendent above him have been the most stable senior leadership group or divisional leadership group that we've had. It's changed the workplace in several ways, like the cameras in the cars as an example. Any manager can have a look at what that instructor's done during the day to ensure that they're complying with the force values. They are more professional, more mindful of what they say. When they were first implemented, there was a lot of pushback from the guys. It's now they won't take a car out if it doesn't have it. That's the culture that's completely changed because they feel protected by it as well.
And it's measurably more safe. Rather than avoiding potholes and swerving all over a road and driving on a surface that doesn't really replicate the realism that you get once you leave the facility, now it feels like you can do here what you will be doing later on in the course on the public roads. Sort of encourage people to think a bit more about it and not be afraid to put their hand up and make suggestions about safety. I think he leaves us in a much better place than he found us.
If you're committed and you have the evidence base, if you can't sort of get traction at a certain level, then escalate it up through the chain of command. Our executive commander now sort of fully informed in relation to driver training. I was truly invested, but I know I've left it in capable hands and hopefully they continue a legacy moving forward.